your free bird here in her little birdie. I I made it. I am in upstate New York. I'm not going to tell you where because, I don't want to give you my exact location. But I figured I'd give you guys all an update. I did drive today from Binghamton to the Adirondacks, and I wasn't even going to do an update because I am so tired. It was really a long drive. Um, I've already shared with you guys in the past the drive and how hard it is, how physically demanding it is. Just the steering wheel and the pedal and just driving this beast, which I love. I love my beast. She's a beautiful beast and I love her. But to drive her is a lot, and it's physically demanding. So by the time you're done, you're so tired. So I wasn't gonna do an update, but I'm, like laying here in my little cozy spot, and I'm, just looking at some TikToks, and everything's about those freaking wildfires. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And I was like, I'm not even gonna do an update. I'm not gonna do a video, but the wildfires, it's so insane. So, I figured, well, you know what? I'll just do a really quick update on my drive up here and how the wildfires are affecting at least this region that I'm aware of. So, I got up this morning and, tightened Birdie up, got her all ready, put everything away, so that nothing falls, and checked the fluids. So, I always check the fluids. I check transmission fluid, the oil, and the steering. I can't speak. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh my gosh. Let me just take my glasses off. Not that that's gonna help, but the power steering fluid. I check the power steering fluid. I do have a leak in that, so I definitely have to check that. But the other two I check just because I don't know. I'm scared. I'm always afraid like I'm gonna not have my oil gauge doesn't work, so I'm afraid something's gonna happen with the oil. And I have a feeling I have a transmission leak. I'm not really sure. I know there's a hole in the filler tube that's been welded and not quite great. And so anyway, I just have like these fears of like all these fluids like draining and not being full. So I checked those. So I checked that, but my mom came out to say goodbye, and I was like, does this smell like smoke out here? I feel like somebody's burning something. And didn't really think anything of it, but then she was on the phone with my stepfather, and he was like, oh yeah, there's like fires in Canada. And I was like, oh well, I've heard of that happening. I know when my friend and I drove to California, there was the wildfires in California, and from far away, like from a state or two away, we were smelling smoke, and we were getting the effects of that. So I was like, okay, that can happen, but whatever. I didn't think anything of it. The skies were definitely hazy and cloudy and weird, but I didn't think anything of it. So I'm driving up to the Adirondacks, and the skies got worse. They were like so orange, probably like Utica, Old Forge area. Super orange, super smelly. Like I had my window down, and I was like choking. The air was like a little choking. But so I put the windows up, but I kept getting scared because I was like, oh my God, is that like from the wildfires or is it Birdie? Like, what's on fire? Thankfully it was from the wildfires. Birdie's fine. So that was good. But then as I'm driving along, oh my gosh, the brake light came on. Now I was behind a guy who was pulling a travel trailer, and he didn't know how to drive the thing. And not that I'm an expert, but I was having trouble being behind him, knowing how I needed to drive Birdie, so I ended up having to step on my brakes a lot, and I was getting really frustrated because I was like, I couldn't. I was trying to stay behind, but if you've ever driven a Class C RV, you have to go fast when you can so that you can get the momentum to go up, because you will just stall. You'll not stall, but you'll just go, crawl up a hill. So I was having a hard time because I couldn't pass him, first of all, and he was sporadic. He was all over the place. It was so frustrating. So I had to keep slamming on my brakes. So right after he turned, that's when my brake light came on, and I noticed like the slowing down, like when you press on the gas pedal, I noticed like you really had to go way, like push it all the way in before it even did anything. I was like, oh crap. So of course I panic. No cell service, none whatsoever. What do I do when I have a problem? I call somebody. I FaceTime my stepfather, or I call Daniel, or I call somebody. But I, I never just leave it up to chance, or I'm not, I don't know. I just was like scared. So, but I had no cell service. So finally I get to a spot that had a gas station, had a Stewart's, and had cell service. I had no cell service before. I had no cell service after. But I was able to get a hold of my stepfather, FaceTime him. Stewart's had 2 bottles, like little bottles of brake fluid. I bought them both because I was just like freaking out. I have no idea where, I know this sounds terrible. I probably should know this, but I'm learning as I go, guys. Okay, to be fair, I didn't know how to fill transmission. I didn't know how to fill the oil. I didn't know how to do power steering. I didn't know how to do any of this. I am learning as I go. I'm super proud of myself. I am super proud of myself. I've really learned a lot about this RV. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know where to put this brake fluid. I don't know where it goes. And you know what? There was probably a lot of people there that I probably could ask somebody. I don't want to ask somebody. So thankfully I was able to FaceTime Mark, my stepfather, and he was able to show me where where you would put the brake fluid. So basically there's, I would show you right now. I would take you outside and show you, but I am not. I'm tired. So there's like a little chamber, and if you get the lid off, and there's like 2 chambers, right? There's 1 and 2. First chamber is the front brakes. Second chamber is the back brakes. Front chamber was full. Back chamber was empty. So who knows how long it had been, like going, draining. Who knows? Maybe it drained fast. I don't know. But I was able to fill that up and get back on the road. Brake light came off. When you push on the brake, it was pushing properly. So that was good. So no problems there. So I made it. I made it here, and it's funny because when I made it here, like everything's fine. The sky is pretty much blue, and I don't smell smoke anymore. So as far as the Adirondacks are concerned, this region anyway, Saranac Lake, Lake Clear, Lake Placid region, skies are fine. Everything looks good here, and I don't really smell anything. But I am getting updates from people that I know in Binghamton that say it's really bad there right now. My old neighbor had texted me, and she was like, it's like raining ash, and it's like smells terrible. And so I'm glad I'm not there, but I feel bad for the people in Binghamton. And from what I'm reading and hearing about right now, it's really bad down in that area. So sorry to everybody who's down there. I feel really bad, but I am glad I'm here in the fresh air for now. I guess the fires are still going. I'm not really sure. But anyway, yeah, that's my update. Like I said, you could see like a house behind me. I'm plugged into this house. So like I've mentioned before, you have to take what you can get for free. And you have to be willing to ask for help. So when I came up here this week, I looked at the weather, and it's supposed to be cold and rainy all week, and I was not prepared to go out to my dad's quite yet. I don't have solar. I don't have a place to hook up to my dad's yet for electric or for power. So it's going to be in like the high 30s, low 40s at night. And I was like, I don't want to freeze my butt off this week. So I have some wonderful people who said that, yes, I could park at their place and plug in for this week. So it's hard asking people for help, and I don't like it, but it's okay. It really is. And I know I would help somebody if they asked me. So why do I feel afraid to ask? Okay, so well, now I'm rambling here, probably because I'm like super tired, but figured I'd give you guys an update. I made it. I'm here. Wildfires have not gotten us here in the Adirondacks. So, gosh, good luck to everybody who is affected by the wildfires right now. I don't know how bad it is, or I mean, I was watching TikTok, and like it was crazy. everybody was talking about it and saying how bad it is where they are, or that they're not affected or whatever, but everybody was talking about it. So I figured I'd jump on the bandwagon and talk about it too. Why not? Yeah. So thanks for checking in, guys. For my faithful 20 viewers and sometimes 200. Thanks for checking in, seeing how I'm doing. This girl made it to the Adirondacks, so the adventure really has just begun. Now I have to discover how to live in this thing, like really live in it, right? Because so far I've just been camping, or staying a night or two, or some time with my daughters in the driveway, but really showering there and eating in there. I have to do this now. It's official. I'm here. So the adventure in the Adirondacks, it's just begun, and you guys get to witness the whole thing. Isn't that exciting? So exciting. Yeah. So here I am, and yeah, stay tuned. Okay, thanks. Bye.